Okay, in this, if this, then that, or if this, then you should do this. If you do see, or you are participating in, a particular metabolic conditioning setting, or in a workout where you see an obvious drop in power, what do you do? So if you see a drop in power in a Metcon, what do you do? Well, the simplest answer to that is actually ask someone to stop, which could look like this. Hey, stop. Or, hey Janice, hold up for a second. Or, just a second, just stop. So you can see there's numerous ways to actually stop people. I add a little humor with that, but honestly, we have to think, what is the issue with actually asking someone to stop in the practice of doing metabolic conditioning? So first go there. Recognize it's okay to actually discontinue the session. And this is important. On a more serious note, to fix it, you have to come back to the intentions as you get into the metabolic conditioning setting. Okay? So that means you have to, of course, stop, catch your breath, and have a conversation. But prior to even prescribing it or taking part in it, you have to say, what is the goal of the entire piece of work that I'm looking to accomplish here? And so we want to assume that there's overarching goal inside of that conditioning setting that says this: I'm going to try to maintain as much sustainable power for the entire time. Now, it's a conversation for another time as to when you want to have a drop in power or when you want to sustain, but let's go back on intentions. So just start there. Secondly, you could look at the piece of work and then start to create some measurements of what's inside. So that means that, let's assume it's going to take 12 to 15 minutes for the piece of work to be done. Then you and the client, or you yourself, whoever's participating, can say, let's make it a goal such that every 3 minutes we're accomplishing the same work. Now you get the client auto-regulating and strategizing to try to come up with a way of maintaining power the whole time. Now it's not always 100%, but you can see how much more higher order that is in the intentions of what we're trying to do in the session. How to remedy all the emotions and bullshit that comes with that, that's a whole separate thing. Oh, I'm not suffering as hard as others, and therefore I don't think I did anything. Or if I'm not laying flat on the ground for the last 10 minutes, it feels like all that. That's a whole separate other thing. We backed up and said, no, our intentions in this piece of work is to go up and flirt with the threshold as long as possible, but maintaining the same power the whole time. So, in order to fix a drop in power conditioning, simply be okay with stopping. But in order to remedy that for the next time, you want to go back to intentions first of maintaining sustainable power and then measure what's inside. And eventually over time, you and them will get to this understanding of the power around sustainable activities, around not honoring this process of suffering in terms of conditioning. And then you'll rewrite this whole new concept around why they're doing exercise in the first place.